Ladies and gentlemen, I give you my favourite build in the game. There are several different ways in which you can run this, although it does have some serious flaws. Although this is categorically the strongest setup in the game, minus one change, which would be the armour choice, which only offers you 5% more. I run Void Armour because typically this is what I run on Nightmare or Apocalypse, and Slayer Armour is a little bit squishier. So most of it's really up to you. However, in case you can't tell, we are using Sporebloom, which is the hardest hitting single shot weapon in the game. And when you run it through all the calculations possible, if you match it up to the fire rate and damage capability of Beam Rifle, it will beat Beam Rifle by 95 damage using the scaling. And if you scale down Beam Rifle to the capability of Sporebloom, Sporebloom still beats it, but by a whopping 2074 damage. So it all depends on how you want to scale it. And the reason I've had to scale it like this is because it's very hard to put a single shot weapon in the same category as a weapon that rapid fires as well as ramps up. So where Beam Rifle is potentially one of the strongest weapons in the game, this one certainly does beat it, and beat it by a good chunk. Now, one of the flaws of this weapon is the simple fact that it's got a range of 10 meters, which is really kind of difficult to gauge, but you'll just note it by how much damage you're doing. It is roughly the distance you can see me being from these orbs and shooting them, so just take that as you will. And the damage drop off is absolutely insane. One of the main reasons I love using this weapon on the higher difficulties is because of the mod. Slowing things down and just getting them to fight at your pace is so much more rewarding and beneficial to higher difficulty gameplay. So what I'm running is quite simply the lovely SMG, just for the fire rate, as well as Swarm, Sporebloom obviously, Riven for a little bit of health, or you could run the Forcebreaker, Void Armour or Slayer depending how you want to go, Gunslinger Charm, Empowering Loop. And at this point I'm using Grimcoil. One of my favourite ones to run with this though is the Iskall Hunter's Band, which reduces the spread by 35%. There are many options you can run here, such as Devouring Loop, Jewel of the Black Sun, Supremacy Band, Stone of Balance. There are near enough endless options at this point. However, the weapon does enough damage for you to maybe focus on something else. I just like running either Grimcoil because it will always apply it upon reload as long as you hit something, as well as the Iskall Hunter's Band. You can currently see the reticule there. To put this weapon into perspective, quick bit of math, per shot you should be averaging 2,655, and that's just with one pellet critting. Over 10 shots, which will take you 13.3 seconds, that is 35,311 damage. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Ta-ra!